Hey, it's Mark Lanier with your video thought for the day. Well, this week I'm looking at common emotions. And I'm looking at them with an idea towards what the Bible says about those emotions and how that can help us handle our day-to-day lives. And yesterday, I spoke about joy and that positive emotion. Today, I want to speak about one that's a little bit more challenging. I want to talk about anger. You might hear people say at times, oh, he has an anger problem, or oh, she has an anger problem. You might be someone who either has an anger problem or at least finds themselves getting angry quite often. What do we do with this? What is the biblical teaching behind anger? What is anger? Well, it's an interesting idea. If you're reading your Old Testament and you're coming across the word angry, typically you've got a couple of words in play. There is a common Hebrew verb, chara, which is used, and it means not simply to be angry, but to also it means to burn with anger. It's like when I was growing up, we had this expression. We'd say, that burns me up. And it's that same thing. It's this burning. And oftentimes in the Hebrew, it's combined with the word for nose, af. And af is not just your nose, but it's also the source of anger. You snort like a bull when you're angry. Snort, snort. So that nose was a metaphor for anger. And when your nose is burning, that would typically be translated as your anger burning. And so you've got passages that use these words like Psalm 37, which says to refrain from anger, which there it's just your nose. Refrain from your nose, forsake wrath. It says, fret not yourselves. That word fret is don't burn up. That's the anger. Don't let your nose start burning. Now, this is interesting because in the New Testament, there are also a couple of words that are translated for anger. One of them is from the Greek word thumos, and thumos is like a fit of passion. Okay. The other is a Greek word orges, which is the word for more of a settled anger. And so you've got these New Testament passages where Paul, for example, will tell the Galatians that fits of anger are not a good thing, or he'll tell the Ephesians to let bitterness and wrath and anger be put away from them. Then he's got these interesting passages like Ephesians 4:26, where in Ephesians 4:26 it says to be angry and do not sin. Don't let the sun go down on your anger. Now that's a fascinating one because that's one where Paul's using that word orges for anger, talking about generally a more settled anger. And I think biblically there is a recognition that at times we have fits of anger where we just respond with this burning, this just bam, and the flame is lit. Then there are times where it's a more contemplative, settled anger. Paul says on that contemplative, settled anger, he says, don't pout, don't stew on it, don't let this anger fester. If you're going to have this anger response, don't let the sun go down on it. Get rid of it. Now, how do you do that? My recommendation to you, and I am no counselor or therapist or any of that kind of mess, but my recommendation to you is always the same. It's just pray about it, take it to God, and try to pray through the anger, asking God to help you get rid of the anger. And then don't just sweep the house clean, but put back good things. Try to think of positive things to take the place of the anger, positive feelings and awareness of whomever or whatever it is that's making you angry. And if we'll respond in faith, we'll rewire our brain or renew our minds. As for the other kind of anger, that fit of anger, that burning, that eruption, volcano anger, some people probably do need to get some counseling with that. But without a doubt, we need people who can check us in our lives and let us know when that's happening. And we need to just pull up our big person pants and say, I'm not going to be that way. Now you say, well, that's easier said than done. Agreed. It takes a lot of prayer, and it takes growing in the Spirit of God and in the love and the joy and the peace and the patience He brings. So let's talk about this some more in the coming days, but strive for letting God take care of our lives instead of us feeling the need to do it ourselves. I've got a lot more to say about this, but it's going to have to come later because right now we're at the end of our time in this, your video thought for the day.